So recently I was watching a new animatronic video for Spirit Halloween 2024, and I saw a comment by a user known as Typical VR, and he was basically saying, to sum it up, that he thinks that Spirit Halloween's animatronics are kind of just cheap and that we're all sort of, I guess, overhyping Spirit, versus a company like Home Depot that, has a bit more extravagant animatronics. And I was kind of sitting there for a while, and I honestly kind of just came to the realization that I really do agree with that comment. And this video is going to be more of like how Spirit can improve, I feel like, to compete with a company like Home Depot versus me just trashing on them, because I don't think that this year for Spirit Halloween is necessarily a bad year. I do think it is a good year and it is worthy of being a good year, like talked about as a good year. But I do think that there are still improvements that Spirit Halloween can make, just so that way they can kind of fit into the modern world of retail animatronics, because times are changing and animatronics are becoming more advanced, and Spirit Halloween, despite being what should be the top Halloween retail company, is sort of falling behind on how animatronics are done. And so in today's video, I'll just be discussing on what I think Spirit can do to improve on that. I'm not going to be trashing on them, so don't go down to the comments and stuff like that, and I'm not meaning to like trash on anybody's favorite animatronic of the year. I do think it's a good, solid year overall. I just think that there could be some improvements on two main issues. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So just last week, Spirit Halloween released most of their animatronic lineup, a few exceptions of course, and most of their videos for us to see. And although I think the hype for this year was there for sure, I don't think it was quite as there, or landed quite as well as it did last year. And I think the reason being is because we were all kind of just left being only satisfied with this. And as a large company like Spirit is, you should do more to strive to make sure that your fans are more than satisfied. And I do think that these animatronic characters have grown on us more as the days have went by, but comparing it to like last year's Spirit Halloween, we instantly fell in love with a lot of these animatronic characters. Most of us did, at least. And this year we were kind of just left being like, oh, okay. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, at least it's not like a horrible year. But I think the main cause of that is just because this year, at least in my opinion, and I'm sure some other people feel the same way, it kind of lacks originality to it. And I'm just kind of saying that for a good bit of the animatronics. Some of them are pretty original, which I do appreciate, but I do feel like a lot of the animatronics that could have had really cool concepts and like the name sounded awesome kind of just turned out to being sort of bland and generic. And so that is what I'm going to go with in today's video for the first topic. Now, the first animatronic, or prop I should say, I'm going to be talking about is the Cremator. Now, this was an animatronic that was very hyped up from the name reveals and everything. What exactly is the Cremator? It's a very intimidating sounding name, and we know it has something to do with fire. Now, fire was kind of the only thing that we got right with this prop. Every other assumption that we had that would be some kind of like gas masked person was just off. We just got a faceless phantom with flame effects, and it's a static too. Now, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad prop, because I would have gotten this last year for my theme, so it's not a bad prop, but I think with the name Cremator, Spirit Halloween could have done something much more original. This image right here comes from Into the Road Haunts, and I think this is a much better concept of what a character known as the Cremator could look like. It is essentially just a psychopathic guy in a gas mask suit burning somebody. I think that is such a unique and cool concept that is honestly it would grab a lot more attention than I feel like a hooded phantom that you can go to Target and see for like $50. And the fact that the Cremator is also 200 and he's a static is kind of a big issue also, but that's not really what this video is about. Anyways, I just feel like Spirit Halloween has a tendency to play things safe. They like to do the very basic kind of characters, and like literally you can make the Cremator at home for much cheaper than $200. Get a flame light, get a little wooden pole, if you will, with like a mannequin head on it, throw like a black tarp over it, and boom, you literally have yourself a Cremator, like character. And I just feel like it's just so generic. From like being like one of the best Halloween companies, we should be getting something a little bit more. Now, luckily, this isn't with the entire lineup. We do have a good bit of original characters, I'd say, with pretty unique designs, such as Bobby Strings, and the Ringmaster, I think, is honestly pretty original for being a Ringmaster character. And even Cotton Candy Dan has some originality to him, so I do appreciate that fact. But I do still think that we've gotten too many just bland and, the same old characters that we've gotten in years past, and I feel like that kind of needs to just be changed a little bit. Now, the next and final topic I want to talk about in this video, because Spirit Halloween has been improving, so I don't really have too many issues with them for this year, but this next topic is just the quality of how the animatronics actually look. This right here is a picture of the new for 2024 Home Depot Headless Horseman, and honestly, looking at it, and I think a lot of other people can agree, that this prop looks like it's made of pretty decent quality, considering it's a Halloween decoration made in China. Now, what do you think the main reason is for that, and including this Plague Doctor right here? I personally think it's the sculpting of the actual plastic pieces. Now, the main issue that I have with Spirit Halloween, and as far as their quality goes, is the clothing of their animatronics. A lot of their animatronics, this year especially, have very just cheap clothing. Even Ghostface, which is a character that I do plan on getting from Spirit Halloween, has a very cheap looking costume, which kind of sucks because his robe is very famous in the films. But I just feel like it kind of needs to be changed from, tarp, cheap clothing to more just detailed clothing or just sculpts in general. Here we have Max Straw, which is the new floating scarecrow prop, and I actually really do like Max Straw, but my main issue with him is just the tarp on him that just hangs there. The 12-foot Reaper actually has a sculpted ribcage, and Reapers are typically known to be covered in just a robe, so the fact that a Reaper has more sculpting details of plastic than a scarecrow is honestly kind of surprising to me, because I don't know, I feel like a sculpted plastic just makes things look a lot more detailed and just higher quality than just having, trash bag looking tarp or plastic on the animatronic. And even whenever Home Depot does put clothing on their animatronics, they make sure it has a lot of volume and detail to it, something that Spirit Halloween I feel like tends to forget to do. Spirit likes to do a lot of tethered clothing, and it kind of just looks like it's, just withered, old, raggedy clothes. Home Depot typically does it if it's a necessity type of thing for the character, and whenever they do it for the necessity of the character, they always make sure it has the right details just to make it look a bit more realistic. Even the clowns at Spirit Halloween kind of just have flat and generic clothing with not much texture to them, and it kind of just looks like a cheap Halloween costume thrown on an animatronic versus being like what an actual person would wear, kind of like how other companies do it. Now, I think this is a very simple solution to fix. Honestly, I just think Spirit Halloween needs to focus a lot more on the sculpting and making sure that their pieces have more sculpts to them, more like actual physical plastic pieces that are sculpted versus just throwing on a big layer of creepy cloth on here, such as this character right here, Gravestone Ghoul. Now, I do enjoy Gravestone Ghoul, like I said again, I just feel like he just has a little bit too much creepy cloth on him despite that he's like a zombie-like character, Whenever I think of a zombie character, I think of like, grotesque skin, like I feel like there should be more skin sculpts onto that animatronic that would just make it look better. Now, I know it'd probably be a bit more expensive, and a lot of these animatronics are on the budgeted side for this year, but I still feel like you can do a lot considering the fact that you're putting your animatronics on a budget. Home Depot's animatronics are a pretty good price, and they just have a much more, theme park-esque quality to them. Basically, my main takeaway that I hope people can get from this video and maybe even pass on to Spirit Halloween themselves is just I hope that they can continue in improving the quality of these animatronics. With companies like Home Depot just kind of skyrocketing with these like animatronic or theme park animatronic leveled characters, I feel like Spirit Halloween is sort of falling behind a little bit, and I just hope in the next couple of years, whenever we see the sneak peek lineup, that we can, be very impressed by the lineup and not just kind of go meh compared to what other companies are coming out with. I really do enjoy Spirit Halloween's lineup this year, but I just want to see them succeed in the future as well and keep bringing us animatronics that we love and are just kind of grow attached to, I guess, and want to purchase. I do appreciate them for kind of going in the right direction with these weatherproof animatronics, even though I do think that they are still a little below Home Depot's just based off like the way they look and quality. I do appreciate that they are taking that direction and they're trying to move forward with the, advancements of animatronics, even if the process is a little bit slower than, the like hardware stores. I do think that Spirit Halloween is understanding what they need to do to make sure that they, at least keep in line with those stores. But anyways, guys, tell me down in the comments below, what do you think of Spirit Halloween this year? And if you have the animatronics like in hand, because I know some people do already, tell me down in the comments below, what is the quality like for this year? If it's any different than the past years, or if it's improved or it's gone worse. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.